What's happening, guys? It's Boxing Lowdown and I'm back here with another video. Now, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Feel free to drop a comment if you like and I'll happily get back to you. Now, week 4 of Fight Camp, the big one. You know, it's been a great month for Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Boxing. It's been a success, the whole Fight Camp series. Week 1, week 2, week 3. All 3 of the weeks so far have been very good, but this is the big one. You know, this is the one that's on Sky Box Office. This is the one where it's got one of Matchroom's top fighters, you know, Dillian Whyte, headlining against Alexander Povetkin, a fight that was scheduled for May. That's obviously been postponed due to the pandemic, but it's back on now. And I'm really looking forward to this. I think it's caps off a very good month for Matchroom and Fight Camp. And the co-headline has also got Katie Taylor against Delphine Persoon, you know, the chief support. That's going to be very good as well. I'm really looking forward to that. But let's get into it, man. This is a fight, you know, Dillian Whyte and Alexander Povetkin, that has been on the cards for a while, as I said earlier. And it's a very good heavyweight scrap. You know, Dillian Whyte is obviously waiting for his position, you know, his shot at the WBC heavyweight crown. I feel like that this ongoing saga has been going on for way too long now. And thankfully, it seems like we are going to get some sort of resolution by early next year. But until then, Dillian Whyte has been keeping busy. Fair play to him for that. And Alexander Povetkin is a very good challenge, man. You know, it's a potential banana skin for sure. Those of us that have, you know, watched boxing for quite a while will know that Alexander Povetkin is no joke. You know, he was an Olympic gold medalist as an amateur. As a professional, you know, he's racked up a lot of knockout wins. He's fought and beaten some very good fighters over his time. And now, you know, he's 40 years old now. So some people will be thinking that this is the right time for Dillian Whyte to take on a dangerous customer like Alexander Povetkin. And maybe they're right, you know, maybe they are right. I mean, in his last fight against Michael Hunter, Alexander Povetkin didn't look, you know, he did look a bit shaky at times. I thought Michael Hunter, even though it was a draw, most people thought that Michael Hunter did enough to take the nod in that fight, but it was a draw. You know, Povetkin did work his way back into it in the middle rounds after a rocky start. And then, yeah, they battled to a draw. But in that fight, for me, and I'm sure you guys watching will agree as well, Povetkin did look like he was starting to age a little bit. Now, maybe it was because of the type of fight that Michael Hunter was bringing to him. He stuck it on him very early. I remember, like, he was really going for it early. And he wobbled Povetkin early. But due to his experience, his know-how in the ring, he knew what to do in that situation. He knew how to survive. And he did come on in the middle rounds. Let's be honest, he did. Even though some people thought that he might have lost it, it was a close fight regardless. And he came out with the draw. So is this the right fight for Dillian Whyte at this stage? You know, is it good for him to take this fight right now? And yeah, I mean, for Dillian Whyte, Povetkin is, on the other hand, you know, he is going to be technically probably one of the better fighters he's ever faced. Could be argued he might be the best. You know, I mean, Povetkin, like I said, he is an Olympic gold medalist. I mean, so is Anthony Joshua. But Povetkin, he's got a great jab. He's got a great left hook. He's a short, stocky guy, but he's very good with his variety and combination of punches. And he can hit. You know, ask David Price if he can hit. You know what I mean? So, yeah, Povetkin's been there, seen it, done it. You know, this is nothing new to him. And it won't affect him nowhere at all, with it being out there in front of nobody compared to it being in a stadium in front of loads of people. These guys here, both of them, I think they're both the same in that sense. They just come to fight. You know, they just want to fight. And that's what it's going to be. It's going to be a tear-up. That's how I can see it, man. Dillian Whyte, he's very good behind his jab. He does have good fundamentals. Not as good fundamentals as Povetkin, in my opinion. He's not as technically sound, not as technically astute. But what Dillian Whyte does have in his favour is he is the bigger man. I saw the press conference today, man, and Dillian Whyte, he's just a lot thicker than Povetkin. Like, he's just very wide. I mean, this training camp that he's been doing in Portugal over the last 3 to 4 months has definitely benefited him, man, because he looks in tremendous shape from what I saw. Povetkin, but also he's in very good shape as well. He looks very lean, but the size difference to me, I mean, Dillian Whyte looks a lot bigger than Povetkin, man. So that's one thing in his favour. I think he's got that. I think he's obviously got the youth in his favour, and you know, very strong Dillian Whyte. And I think that that's going to be his key to victory for me. I think the way for him to defeat Povetkin will be to really make him feel like he's an old man. I think he needs to go in there and rough him up. Sort of like what he did to Joseph Parker, man. Just go in there, get in the trenches from early and just try and rough Povetkin up, man. Don't give Povetkin time to, you know, get his jab off or throw his fancy combinations or anything like that. Just get in there, get stuck in, like rough him up. And I think that's what he's going to have to do. Because I think that will be his best way of winning the fight. If he stays on the outside and, you know, lets Povetkin jab and he jabs and stuff, I don't think that's going to be the right tactics for Dillian Whyte. I think he needs to make it dirty, you know, get in there and rough him up a little bit and try and do that and then get onto him that way. I think if what he can get away with in terms of that, I think that's what Dillian Whyte needs to do. If he stands on the outside and tries to jab with Povetkin, I mean, it'll be pointless really when Dillian Whyte is so much bigger than him. I mean, he can do that. Povetkin is the smaller man, but I just think that in this fight, I think that with Povetkin showing signs of him aging in his last fight, the best strategy for me would be for him to really go in there and rough him up and like just get stuck in, you know. And Dillian Whyte, he's no stranger to that. I mean, he loves a tear up, and I can see that happening. That's what I think Dillian Whyte will try to do, and that's why I'm leaning towards him in this fight. I mean, it is a potential banana skin for sure. Povetkin, like I said, he's very good, especially earlier on. If you saw that fight against Anthony Joshua, he had him in some problems early. I remember that 3-punch combination at the end of the first round that bloodied Anthony. I think it broke his nose, didn't it? Or it bloodied his nose at the very least. But he's very sharp early on, very technically sound, and he can punch, you know. So if Whyte is not on form, if he's not on his game earlier on, then Povetkin can capitalise from that. And you don't want to give him too much chances because he does have the power to hurt you. So I think that Whyte needs to be switched on from early, and I think he needs to really just get stuck in and rough up Povetkin a bit, land his left hooks on the inside, and try and wear the man down for a late stoppage. I mean, it'll be good if he could get the stoppage. It would be a very good win for him. As we see, Povetkin is not easily stopped. I mean, he's only been stopped by Joshua, I believe. Was he stopped by Klitschko as well? But either way, Povetkin is not a man that can easily... He's got a good chin. So Joshua, before he stopped Povetkin, he had to really dig deep and get in there before he could. And he hit him with some great shots to get him out of there. But Dillian Whyte, I think he's going to have to do the same sort of thing, man. Like, just really get stuck in, rough Povetkin up. I mean, Michael Hunter couldn't stop him. I think he's going to have to do that and just try and really make it a war of an attrition in that sense. So that's my... I mean, that's just my thoughts and opinions on what I think Dillian Whyte needs to do. I think that he will be able to implement that, and I think he will grind Povetkin down, probably to a points win, to be honest. I think that he will win on the cards by just grinding him down. If he can, you know, get a left hook in there and stop him, then that would be great. But I think that it's probably going to head to a points win for Dillian Whyte. But, you know, who knows? Don't be surprised if Povetkin, I mean, he is the underdog, but he's not like a huge underdog for me, not by any means. I think that he has, like I said, the fundamentals, the power and the skill to give Dillian Whyte trouble. And like I said, Dillian Whyte's going to have to be switched on. So I'm very looking forward to that fight. I think that it's going to be very entertaining. And I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys think about it as well. So drop them in the comment section below and let me know how you see this fight going. But before I do go, I just want to get on to Katie Taylor and Delphine Persoon as well, because I'm really looking forward to that rematch. I thought that Delphine Persoon was very unlucky not to get the decision in the first fight. I definitely thought she won it. I'm not going to go as far as saying it's a robbery, because it was a pretty close fight. But for me, in my personal opinion, it was quite clear that Persoon won that fight. And you know what the sad thing is like when I was watching it, I just knew that Katie Taylor would get the decision. And that's nothing against Katie Taylor at all. I do like her. I think she's a very positive role model for the sport. But it's the same. It's just been my feeling recently, not just with Katie Taylor, but when there's a close fight and it goes to the scorecards, automatically in my head, I'm just like, you know, the away fight is not going to get that decision. But I mean, there has been some instances where I've been proven wrong. Like look at last week, for example, with Rachel Ball against Shannon Courtney. She got the decision when most thought that Shannon Courtney, the home fighter, would get it. So I'm not saying that that happens all the time, but automatically in my head, if it's a close fight and it goes to the scorecards, then the home fighter is likely to get it. And in that sense, it was the case for Katie Taylor and Delphine Persoon last year at Madison Square Garden. But I thought Persoon did enough to win. I thought she took Katie Taylor out of her game plan brilliantly. I thought that she really brought the fight to her. And, you know, that took it into her hands, man. And she's definitely going to try and do the same. So it's going to be interesting the first couple of rounds to see. We all know what Katie Taylor's going to do in this fight. You know, she's not going to be dragged into a war again. She's got the boxing skill to keep Persoon at the end of her jab. She's got so much more variety than Persoon. I mean, Persoon is really just a brawler, whereas Katie Taylor can do it all. You know, she can mix it up, she can box, she can do it all. So I think that she's going to be a lot more smarter in this fight, and I think that she will earn her way to a decision win. But if she's not on form and if she does get dragged into the trenches again, then I'll favour Persoon, man. I think that it helped her in the first fight, a fight that I think she should have won. But Katie Taylor, I mean, she's incredible in terms of what she can do. And I think that she'll be a lot smarter. I think she's got a good team around her. And I think that she will win the fight against Persoon more comfortably this time round and on points as well. So Let me know you guys' thoughts and predictions on it all, man. Should be a good show. For week 4 of Fight Camp. I don't know what's going to happen after this. I know Eddie Hearn was, deliberating on possibly having a couple of more shows and even making it into like some sort of fantasy thing for next year or some reality. I don't know what he was thinking about doing, but he was thinking about doing that anyway for next year. But yeah, for now, I think we should just all enjoy week 4. There have been some people complaining about it being on pay-per-view, but look, there's no gate. Do you know what I mean? There's no fans in the arena. And for me, I'm not going to complain about it too much. I have seen a few people complain about it, but I'm just going to sit back and enjoy it, man. I mean, it's been a good series so far. And we've also got Dubois fighting next week as well. So boxing is slowly starting to come back, man. And, I'll pay the 20 quid or whatever it is for this and enjoy the show. So let me know your thoughts and opinions on it anyway, guys. I won't drag this video out for too long, and I'll catch you on the next one.